in relation to what you want to talk about. But how are you feeling? You know, for a Monday night, I'm actually feeling pretty good. I'm feeling good about Manchester United, and the US tour's up and running. They've had their first training session tonight, which I was watching. Lukaku looks like a beast. I think, Jesus, I used to play centre-back. I would cry. I would absolutely cry about having to play against somebody like that. He would batter me, run over me, be like a bloody truck. Massive player, but hopefully he'll do the business at Manchester United. But I think we move on from Lukaku now. Very excited to see him on Saturday night, hopefully, against LA Galaxy. But who's Jose Mourinho's next transfer going to be? Who do you think it's going to be? Maybe you want to call in and tell us. And also, at the moment, what do you think about Manchester United? Are they serious title contenders? Still very early in the transfer window, still signings to come in. But does that squad that's currently in America make you feel that that can win the title? I don't personally think we can. I think we're still 2 or 3 players away from that. And I still think we need to sell a couple of players. But let's start off then, before we open up the Skype, who will be Manchester United's next signing and how quick will it be? I've got to be honest with you, apart from the Lukaku signing, which we were waiting for all day, it felt a little bit quiet today. It felt a little bit quiet. The weekend was like buzzing, and today really felt a bit quiet in relation to Manchester United. There's normally a lot of press buzzing around us, but this may be the case. I think the evenings might be the busier time over the next few weeks, because 4 o'clock UK time is 8 AM LA time. So yes, something could happen in the day, but Manchester United, Mourinho and everyone like that, they're going to be asleep for the most of the time we're awake in the UK. So maybe, I don't know how it will work. Will we do? I did say this a few weeks ago, that you don't get many signings done once you go on the tour, and we're going to have to break the mould for that. Or are we? Are we just going to wait until the end of the month when we come back and we've got the friendlies against the Norwegian team, I think, and Sampdoria in Dublin, and obviously the Super Cup? Will we wait till then to do the further business? I don't know. Perisic, for me, looks like the deal, as I said last night, that looks the most likely. Fabinho, it's very, very quiet. Putting feelers out on that for 2 weeks now and getting nothing back. Rodriguez just seems to be everything coming from Rodriguez. And then other than that, what is going on? I mean, what I would say is that we can't moan too much. We've made 2 very good signings, I think, in Lindelof and Lukaku. Chelsea still haven't done anything. I think they're still reeling from what we did to them. I don't really care what Arsenal do. Liverpool have bought some Roma winger, haven't they? City, they've gone a bit quiet. So it's all gone very quiet. So I suppose the flip side of that is we were a bit worried, you know, we're on the US tour, but everyone else is going to be on the tour soon as well. So what's wrong with the audio? Don't know. Should be fine. Should be absolutely fine. What's going on with what's wrong with the audio? Bakayoko. People are on about Bakayoko. Perisic coming. Audio. I don't know. My audio settings are fine. And the audio is fine. Okay. Marcus, you've got my Mad Marcus and Ed, you've got my permission to block anybody who fakes audio scamming. That's not on. And anybody who was doing it, please just go back through and block them. Can't be doing with that. We're running through a show and somebody thinks it's funny to say there's a problem with the audio. Put it to the vote, folks. It's a democracy on the United Stand. Do they get one more chance or do we just kick them out? You get in the live comments, Ed and Mad Marcus, my boys, on the live comments. See what the democracy says. Takes me totally out of the flow saying there's a problem with the audio. Well, there's a word for that, but we don't swear on here anymore. So, yeah, I'd say block them, but let's see what everyone else thinks. Yeah, a professional shouldn't be taken it out of his stride, but they've took me out of my stride there, well and truly. Because you know what? You know why it's took me out of my stride? Because I worry. I worry about you lot. I worry about providing the service that you United Stand viewers deserve. And obviously we had issues last night with the audio, and I didn't want that to happen again. But I tell you what, forget that. Let's take a call on the United Stand. Anything you want to talk about tonight, come on the show, hit it hard. That's all I would ask, because we need to keep this good mood up and running. Everyone's saying kick him out for life. I'll leave it to Ed and Mad Marcus if he's on there to do that. But slow the live comments down. Let's get some callers on. Skype Goldbridge is the name. We're awaiting our first call of the evening. Don't come on miserable. Come on hard. Give us your thoughts and let's get on with it. tonight on the United stand. So, what's this week going to hold? As I was saying, will we make a signing this week? Personally, I'd like to get Perisic in ASAP. Just to add another player. I want them to be on that squad, as I've said before. But it has gone very quiet in relation to transfer news. But also, what are your thoughts in relation to, can this side win the Premier League based on what it is at the moment? No more Wayne Rooney at Manchester United. No more Zlatan. Now Lukaku's come in. Pogba needs to step into those big shoes. Can they do it? Will they do it? We'll have to wait and see. Oh, Skype's messing around a bit. No, it's not. We're up and running. Boom. Let's take a call. It's gone a bit slow. I knew this might happen. All right. Okay.
Cool.
Hello, Anthony. Can you hear me?
Oh, yeah. How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. You?
Good. I just wanted to say that with the current squad we have, I don't think we're gonna win the Premier League. Maybe one more signing or two, Perisic, maybe Fabinho or Nainggolan. But yeah, I just don't think that we would win the Premier League with our current squad at the moment. But it's looking good so far. So I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, well, I just saw a comment there from somebody saying that Lukaku looks fantastic. I'm just blocking Charles Thomas. I've had enough of it. I've had enough of people saying no sound, so you'll just get blocked, and then you'll have to open up a new account. So, yeah, I think it's interesting. At the moment, I'd probably go with you. I think there's a lot of uncertainties with this squad. I don't know what you think. I mean, as I've said a couple of days ago, if Martial produces what Martial can do, Mkhitaryan has a better season than last year, Rashford continues to develop, and Pereira comes back and is the player I believe he can be. Well, those four players, added to the people like Valencia, Herrera, Bailly, Lindelof, Lukaku, and we're not far off. But I think at the moment, I think there's a lot of uncertainty about what Manchester United are going to be like next season. I think there's a few players, as I just mentioned there, who need to step up a bit. We've got the new signings that is always a bit uncertain. And as you said, a couple of more signings, I think, added to it. But I am very excited, I've got to say.
Yeah. Also, oh, sorry, I lost my track of thought.
Who do you think we're going to sign next, if you had to put money on it?
I think Perisic, although that kind of went quiet today, but I think Perisic's going to be our next signing. And then after that, probably the CDM position, and then I think our transfer business is going to be done from there.
Yeah, I thought I'd go with Perisic as well. Are you based in America?
Yeah, I'm actually going to the Real Madrid game in San Jose.
Oh, cool. Well, I don't know whether you've been watching the United stand for the last few weeks, but if you're one of those fans who's going to start doing this, who fancies just giving a couple of minutes match review on your phone afterwards in the ground, that'd be great. We'll get it up on the United stand if you're up for it.
All right, I think I might do that. You're Soccerbox TV, right?
Yeah.
At gmail.com.
Soccerboxtv at gmail.com. All right, mate. Thanks very much for the first call, and I'll look forward to that then.
Thank you. Have a good day, man.
You too,
Bye.
pal. Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, we were up for that. Fabinho is quality, Matic is crap, says Fortune Achabiri. It's like a song. Fabinho is quality, Matic is crap. Fabinho is quality, Matic is crap. I don't think it's going to take off on the stands of Old Trafford, but you never know. Let's take another call. Bang on with it. Let's try. I don't know whether we've had this lad on before, but I recognise the name. Maybe I think he was on the telly before. Mark, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Good. You're live on the United stand. What do you want to talk about?
I'd just like to say that I think Lukaku's a really, really positive signing for us. I've been watching Tony's interviews on MUTV, and yeah, to me, he just sounds quality. Sounds like he really wants to get stuck into being what a United player is. I think he just gets it.
Yeah, you know what? I don't know whether anyone's ever told you this before, but if you slowed your speech down a little bit and went a bit, you'd sound very like Harry Redknapp.
Oh, thanks very much.
I I just for a minute, it just really came into it. But no, back to Lukaku. You might not like being called Harry Redknapp. I might have just offended you. I hope I haven't. But back to Lukaku. I haven't really had much chance to listen to any of his United interviews because I watched the training, but then I've not been back from work that long. But I did watch a lot of his Everton ones, and I don't really know much about Lukaku other than the way he plays. I don't know anything about his personality. But looking at him over the weekend, I think he is one. He's a bit like Pogba, because obviously Pogba, being a Muslim, he doesn't, he likes to dance and everything like that, but he's not a drinker or anything like that, which was always one of the issues that people levelled at people like Rooney, wasn't it? And definitely Gascoigne, who I remember. Great, talented players who maybe abuse their body a little bit. But Lukaku, I think he's much like Pogba. He likes to dance and a bit of fun, but you can see by the specimens of Pogba and Lukaku that these are men who really, really take pride in their fitness, which again is another massive thing for Manchester United. I was saying before, just looking at him in training, Draughty was saying it as well, he's like a linebacker in the American football. He's absolutely immense. I loved it with Zlatan, how he bullied people, and we're going to get that with Lukaku, but we're also going to get the pace as well.
I was watching his interview earlier on, and the interview that Pogba actually had with him on the MUTV, and I was really, really, really impressed actually with him. I didn't know that they were actually next door neighbours, and I didn't know that Lukaku actually lived in Manchester. And he actually makes a point on there that he drives past Manchester United Stadium every day, Old Trafford, and he just says one day it would just be a dream to play at Old Trafford. Now he's got his dream. I'd just love to see exactly what he's actually made of and what he can actually do. And I solely believe with the players that we have got going forward, and possibly players that we could be getting in this summer, could have a really, really positive effect on us going forwards. I really do. I'd love to sign a defensive midfielder. Fabinho would be my ideal one. And I think someone going down the right, I think a right winger, I think would be ideal for us.
I think we need to find that ability to naturally whip a cross in. I know we put Mata on the right, but he always comes back on the left, and we put Ashley Young on the left. He comes back on his right. I remember last season, I can't remember what the game it was. I flicked Everton on. Barkley's running down the right. He puts this peach of a cross in, and it's right in the stride of a sprinting Lukaku, who dives at it onto the penalty spot and heads it in. We just don't put the natural cross in. And I'm with you. I think whatever winger we get, I want them to be naturally left-footed if they're on the left wing, right-footed on the right wing, and whip in some proper crosses that are going to cause defenders problems. Because Lukaku will, if the quality cross comes in, and it's been something that's missing from our game for the last few years, even corners.
I think the one lad, if I had a dream signing this year, would be the lad from Borussia Dortmund. His name misses me now, and the French lad going down the right.
Oh,
he just looked.
Dembele, is it? Yeah, it was Dembele. Yeah.
Dembele. I think he's just going to be world class, and I think if there was any chance at all that we could get him and Fabinho, I just think that I don't know if we'd actually need anyone else. Perisic, maybe. He looks a quality left midfielder. I don't know. I think we've enough quality in the squad. I think we are just missing something down the right, and the pace of Moussa and Dembele, I think, would just be immense. And Fabinho to back it up, I think we'd have a really positive squad, especially with Lukaku signing, Pogba in the midfield, Herrera. I think it's limitless, really. I think we could do really, really well with that.
Yeah, I'm certainly excited about it. Is it your first time calling in, Mark?
It certainly is, yeah. I've been watching the show now since you were about 90,000 subscribers. So, yeah, been watching it a fair while now and love the show. Really, really good.
Well, thanks for that, and thanks for calling in. Really, really good call, and please do call in again.
Yeah, certainly will do. Thanks very much, Mark. Thanks very much indeed.
Ta-da.
Cheers. Bye.
Really good call. Really really good calls to start us off. I mean, I don't know why I say that anymore, because it's always the same on Sky Goldbridge. I think everyone gets it now, which is great. It's gone from strength to strength, from an idea to a regular. It really is great. So drop a like on the video. Remember, on the Skype shows, you're liking for your guests, you're backing up your community, so give them that like. But I agree with Mark. I'm very, very excited. I'm not going to guarantee it's going to work out, but I'm very excited. And I think the Rooney thing sort of adds to the excitement. I know it's a little bit sad he's gone, but it's the turning of the page. It was time. It was definitely time. Based on the last 3 years, 4 years even, it was time. And I think this summer is Mourinho really building his Manchester United side the way he wants to. And we're in a very fortunate position, really, because we are building. He's building it, but it just shows how well he did last year with what wasn't really his team. We still won the Europa League, League Cup, and got in the Champions League, and now he does it from a position of strength, which is absolutely fantastic. So let's take another call, and it will be let's try. It's very hard for me because there's so many people calling and I can't see the names to just click somebody because you're all overlapping. I think we need to find a new solution to this, to be honest, because it's a blooming nightmare, to be honest. Let me try this one. I'm just clicking. When we're taking a call, if you are Skyping us, can you stop Skyping? Because I think that actually impacts on the quality of the call. And I'll have to close it all down and stop again like I did on Thursday, because we're getting so many calls now. If you don't get picked, please stop calling, and then it will just make things run smoother. And then as we're coming towards the end of the call, you can Skype in again. But whilst you're all doing that and Skype is messing around, I'm going to take the super chat, which says, K Fitness Marketing says, we pay more for players because we make the most cash. For example, if we made 500 million and spend 100 million on a player, he costs less to us than if a team made 250 and bought the same player for 75 million. Hello, can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Great. You're live on the United Stand. What did you want to say?
I just wanted to say it's pretty much that Jesus loves the little children.
Lovely. Anything you want to say about United? No, he's gone. You're always going to get prank callers, aren't you? Oh, God, I'm really struggling with Skype tonight, folks. I know there's a lot of you trying to get on, and it's very difficult for me to say, don't Skype, because I can't get callers, but I am literally full of callers at the moment, and it is running very slow. Right, I'm just going to hit this, and hopefully it'll work. It is slow, man. It is slow. We need to find a solution to Skype because it's an absolute nightmare. Absolute nightmare. It's like this all the time at the moment, isn't it? Disappointing. Right. Right, I'm coming back to the live comments. Life's too short. Right, we've had a comment from Sean Petrosian. He says, hey Mark, sent you a DM on Twitter, alternative to Skype, and if you ever needed help with regards to setting it up, love the show, and go Manchester United. Glory, glory Manchester United. What am I thinking about? Thanks for that, Sean. Definitely will look into that because I just don't think Skype can handle these shows anymore. It has become undoable, which is a shame because I absolutely love these shows. Tommy Pattinson says, I can't hear you. I think something's wrong with the audio. I tell you what, I think in fairness, probably there is something wrong with the audio. I don't know why. I think some people maybe are on their phone, can't hear it, or maybe not. Maybe it's on your laptop, I don't know. But a lot of people can hear us. The audio settings are perfect, so I don't know what's going on there. Whack some questions into the live comments because I can't deal with what Skype's doing tonight. Forward Mukhtar says, Fabinho next. David Carey says, hi Mark, about set pieces, it's good having a big powerful player in the team, but we need a player who can deliver them set pieces. I was thinking that as soon as you started on about it, David. Look, we had Zlatan last year, and I know Zlatan scored a lot of goals, but apart from if you remember correctly, he scored a header against Leicester, where he outjumped Wes Morgan, who was virtually unbeatable the season before. Played against Southampton, cross comes in the box, he puts Fonte in the net as well as the ball. We just stopped doing that, and I think you're spot on, David, and everyone's aware of it. We don't put enough crosses into the box, and that causes us masses of issues. It really does. I tell you what, I'm trying to just keep my calm here because I feel like grabbing. If I had the owner of Skype tonight, I'd grab him around the neck. I would. It's really annoying me because I love doing Skype Goldbridge, and I can't do it. I'm out of sync, mate, because I think Skype is ruining our shows. Sue me. Who will we sign next? Says TGM123 Game. Well, that's what I wanted to put to you lot, but there we go. Jim White says Bakayoko to Chelsea fee is agreed. Good. Yeah, Sam Rooney. I'm glad you mentioned Bakayoko. You know, Bakayoko, I tweeted it out last night as well. We're not in for Bakayoko. This is Chelsea feeding it out there that we're in for Bakayoko. So then when they sign him, they can go, ha ha ha, he chose us over you. We're not in for Bakayoko. It's the most, even like some journalists have been saying it today. But I think it's obvious. We're not in for Bakayoko. They were in for Lukaku. We nicked him off him. So they're now trying to do some moral victory that they beat us for Bakayoko. Well, we're not in for Bakayoko. I think plus Neymar, Fabinho and Perisic, and that is a superb transfer window, says Kieran Byrne. Yes, Neymar was mentioned today. I think he was asked about Manchester United, and he says he's very happy at Barcelona, but we'll see what happens in the future. I can't see us getting Neymar, because if we were going to get Neymar, we should have done it in June, because on July the 1st, his release clause went up by about 60 million to 210. Jared Pesserman's made a contribution. He says, only reason I could see Romelu Lukaku taking 9 is because of James. Very interesting, yes. We were talking about that this morning. There was a leak that Lukaku was going to wear the number 10 shirt. It appears he wear the number 9 shirt now, keeping the number 10 shirt free. I don't see anybody in the current team who can wear number 10 unless it goes to Rashford. So it'll be interesting to see if we're going to sign a number 10. Yeah. Mark, who do you prefer between Perisic or James Rodriguez? That's from Mashuana. I would go with Perisic for the simple reason I feel that we need a winger who is quick, skillful, two-footed and can put balls into the box. It's close, but Rodriguez is too close to Mata and Mkhitaryan for me. I think Perisic gives us something different, which is an out-and-out winger, which I think we're desperate for. I'd like to get both. Dembele as our number 7, Rodriguez as our number 10, says Abe L. Kitbag sold 10 for Lukaku, says Matt Rowe. I think that's where it came from. Dani Alves to United. There's an interesting comment. It's whizzed by, so I don't know who said it, but I don't think we'll get Dani Alves, but what I did hear today is that Manchester United are in for a right back because they want to release Valencia further forward, which makes sense to me, because if you've got Perisic on the left, Valencia down the right, then you've got real powerful, defensive-minded but very good attacking wingers. So yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if we did go for Valencia. A winger over James, says Yusuf. He's not impressed, but you did ask me the question. Do you think one more striker to challenge for the title, says Liam Kiley? It's hard to say, because I think Lukaku is a definitive one striker player. I don't think you play with 2 up front with Lukaku. So whether we've got enough in depth behind Lukaku with Rashford, potentially Martial, we probably do need another striker. Although it's starting up again today about Martial leaving, isn't it? Was it Roma or something like that? I'd be absolutely disgusted if we did that. K-Finesse Marketing's made a comment again. He says, what second striker do you think we should get? Not Belatti or Morata or Hernandez. Lukaku is number 10. His Twitter is RL10. Martial back to AM9. His brand. Is his Twitter gone to 10, is it? I didn't know that. I thought he was going to be number 9. There's an interesting breaking news story here from somebody on Twitter who's not bad. And it says that AS are reporting that Atletico Madrid have snuck in and sealed a deal for 45 million for AS Monaco's Fabinho. Well, you know what? That would be the ultimate kick in the teeth, wouldn't it? Ultimate kick in the teeth if that's happened. Atletico Madrid, who we didn't get Griezmann out of them, and they can do that. That would be really odd, really odd. But I mean, it would mean he's going to sign for them in January. But that's that. You know what? If we miss out on Fabinho, it's because Mourinho stubbornly doesn't want Fabinho, and I disagree with it. I really, really do. But disappointed. I'd be disappointed if I'm totally honest with you. I'm just trying to see if there's anything else in it. But no. It'd be a real case of snooze you lose, I feel, because Fabinho flirted with us, and I'm not totally convinced that we're in for Fabinho. But how Atletico Madrid can get him when they can't actually play him until January is ridiculous. But it would be typical. We don't get Griezmann because of Atletico Madrid, and then we don't get Fabinho because of Atletico Madrid, which would be very, very disappointed. Yeah, there's a lot of people saying that Fabinho is going to Atletico Madrid. That really disappoints me. And I think that's a real mistake by Manchester United. I think we're wasting way too much time on Matic and Dyer, and we could have just got Fabinho, who would have been absolutely perfect for us. And the fact that he goes to Atletico Madrid is even more disappointing. And for €45 million as well. I mean, that's nothing. It's not even 40 million sterling. It's a steal, an absolute steal. Really, really, really gutting. Yeah, and also Romelu Lukaku has changed his Twitter handle to number 10, which is what I'd said this morning, which is what we got from obviously the research and everything. Well, I think a lot of people knew it last night as well. But you get all these in the nose going, oh, he's wearing number 9. Does it really matter at the end of the day? But I personally would have rather that. I think he's playing with us actually, because I've just gone onto Romelu Lukaku's Twitter feed. His username is got 10 on the end, but his Twitter name has got 9 on the end, so it's still up in the air. They're probably just doing it to sell more. That's not a very good thing to do actually, because there'll be a lot of United fans getting 9 and 10. Which I think is disappointing. But Fabinho, let me go back to Fabinho anyway. If that is true, and there's a lot of it on Twitter at the moment, if it's true that Fabinho is going to Atletico Madrid, I think we've dropped the ball on that one. I don't know what anyone else thinks. He was the centre defensive midfielder I really wanted. We don't know yet if it's true, but it's looking that way. And there's no excuse. €45 million is not even £40 million, and he was well worth £40 million. He's exactly right. 6'2", good on the ball, quick, tenacious, can score a goal as well, can play right back, can play centre back as well, although we don't need that. And we let him go to Atletico Madrid. It just shows how easy that deal was to do, because PSG wanted him, but Monaco didn't want to sell to PSG. If we'd just gone in with an offer, we would have got him, because why would Fabinho, who was on Brazilian TV smiling at the prospect of going to Manchester United, why would you go and sign for a club that you can't play for till January? Lacazette wanted to go to Atletico Madrid, but he ultimately went to Arsenal because he didn't want to wait till January. So if we'd gone in for Fabinho, we would have got him, but we're clearly not in for him. And I've been worried about that for the last few weeks. It doesn't feel like we are in for Fabinho, and now it looks like it's certainly the case. So the summer that started in May, when we were thinking, let's get Griezmann, Fabinho, Perisic, Lindelof, and now Griezmann stays at Atletico Madrid and they nick Fabinho as well. Just gutted, absolutely gutted. It makes me feel a little bit sick inside, because I don't think we're going to get Nainggolan, so I'm afraid to say the centre defensive midfielder we're going to get is going to be somebody that's not particularly popular with United fans. You're back in the realms of Matic, you're back in the realms of Eric Dyer. Maybe we could get Bakayoko. I'd take him over those two. Matuidi maybe, but Fabinho, we're not going to get Matuidi if we didn't get Fabinho, because Fabinho's better than Matuidi, and I think Mourinho would see that. So disappointing. So the argument about Lukaku's shirt continues. 9 or 10. Well, I think he's playing with us, to be honest. Trust Martio, we are getting Fabinho, says Kieran Byrne. He hasn't actually said anything about Fabinho for a long time, and that was 2 weeks ago. Den Donker from Anderlecht says Fabinho alternative, says Jonathan Gorbett. It could be, you never know, we could go and get somebody that's not been mentioned before. And Mark, at the end of the day, Mourinho knows best, says Charlie Phillips. Oh, Charlie, I'm not going to disagree with you on that, but what I'm saying is that as fans, we of course have players that we feel would be better for Manchester United. Lukaku wasn't my first choice, but I've bought into it. I think he's going to do really well, but I'll never change my mind on the fact. Well, I won't change my mind because there's videos out there, but I didn't want Lukaku ahead of Morata or Aubameyang or Icardi or Belotti. Now we've got Lukaku. I back him. I'm excited about it. Same thing would happen if we signed Eric Dyer. I would back Mourinho and be excited about it. But it's not going to stop me, you, and everybody else saying Fabinho looks like he'd be the perfect one that would really excited. Probably can't get another Everton player, but Idrissa Gueye would be perfect. What do you reckon? Johnny Frost, I agree with you. I really like him, but I don't think Everton are going to sell anybody else. Surely William Carvalho is available, says Liam Kiley. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And let me just pop over here. Apologies about the Skype. We got a couple of callers on, then it fell apart again. I'm going to work on it and get it sorted out, hopefully by Wednesday, because I've got Rodney on tomorrow. Super chat. K-Finesse Marketing with another contribution. He says, R Lukaku Belongoli 10 is his Lukaku's new Twitter name. It is, but then his actual feed is 9. So he's calling him, because you have a username and then you have your Twitter name, and that's 9. So he's playing them both at the moment. I think he's playing a game. Will Butler, Mark, your quiff game is strong today. Big up the United stand. Thanks for that, Will. And that's those done. Let me come back to where we are. If you're new to the United stand, I haven't done it yet, so don't worry. If you're new to the United stand, make sure you click and subscribe. Bottom right hand corner is the hologram, and get involved. We're closing in on 111,000, which is fantastic. And do drop a like on the video. That'd be appreciated. Just to give you a little bit of a news update, really, with the United stand. Well, this is from Mike D. This is a news update anyway. He's gone to the trouble of giving us a super chat, so thank you, Mike. He says, Lukaku has officially stated he will wear number 9 in an ESPN interview. I asked Zlatan for permission. Bakayoko to Chelsea delayed because of knee concerns. I did say that about Bakayoko, and that could explain a lot of why I thought Bakayoko was a really good player until February. In the last few months of the season, he just looked awful. And I was having a chat with somebody today, and they said, well, why were you so... there is a tweet out there from me saying Bakayoko is the answer to Manchester United's centre defensive midfield problems. And that was around February time. And then the last 3 months I've said, no way, I don't want him anywhere near United. And I was talking to somebody on my lunch today, and they were saying, how can you go from that? That's really hypocritical. I can understand why people have a go at you. And I said, no. Them last 3 months I watched him at Monaco, he was awful. Positionally wrong, slow, everything like that. Then I was thinking today when I heard about these knee things, maybe he has, because he did have an injury in March, I think. And maybe that is why he's not been playing that well, because he's carrying problems with his knees. Because he did look really good in the earlier rounds of the Champions League, but the latter rounds looked awful. Vince Chapman has made a contribution. He says, watched interview Lukaku and he said he'll be number 9. I think he will be number 9, yeah, but he's obviously playing on Twitter. We should play 4-3-3. Put Pogba on the left midfield. For that, we need a CDM, which should be Fabinho. And with Perisic on the left of front 3, we are quite sorted to challenge on all fronts. That's from Sal Agaro. And Kinzaza DK says, Atletico has got one of the best squads in the world, whether you like it or not, dude. They have got a really good squad, but if I was an Atletico Madrid player, I'd leave, because whether you like it or not, they're not going to win La Liga next year, and they're never going to win the Champions League. So they can have the best squad they like, but they're going to win nothing. I know they won the league a few years ago, but they will never win the league next year, and they won't win the Champions League. So, you know, Griezmann can be as loyal as he wants, and everyone can play for Atletico Madrid, and they can all play Ring of Roses for all I care. You're not going to win anything. Come to the Premier League. It's the richest world in the league. It's the most watched world in the league. It's the most competitive world in the league. Come and challenge yourself and win things. That's what players should do. I wanted to give you an update as well. For those who are new to the United stand, we do watch-alongs for the match. So we've been doing it for a couple of years now. So every Manchester United game, we go live before with the team news, normally an hour before, and then we go live. We stay live all the way through with the live comments. Marcus joins me, and we talk about the game while it's on. It's not a commentary because you can't do that, but it's just talking about the game, and we're all, you know, commenting about it together. We will be doing that for the US Tour. So Saturday night, well, it's early hours of Sunday morning, 3 o'clock in the morning UK time. We will be live, and really looking forward to doing that again. Football's back. K-Finesse Marketing says, who wants to bet me a United stand shirt that Lukaku will be number 10? There you go. I won't be providing the shirts, by the way, but if anyone wants to bet K-Finesse Marketing, he might take you up on that. Ricky Clarkson says, life is boring without football games, except it isn't when you have the United stand. I sort of agree with you without blowing our own trumpet, because I'm not blowing my own trumpet here, but what I would say is that I Up until we started doing the United Stand 3 years ago, I hated it when the football season ended, right the way through until pre-season now. It was a dearth of nothing for 2 months. But I tell you what, having done the United Stand for the last 3 summers, it just whizzes by because we're live probably twice a day a lot of the time, talking about transfer news, and it just goes right. What? I don't even know. It feels like yesterday we were celebrating the Europa League, and we're what, 3 or 4 days away from United playing in America, and as soon as that kicks off, it's a football match virtually every 3 or 4 days, right the way through till the international break in September. It's amazing how quick it comes round. So I thank you all for getting involved and the comments and the interaction, because the summer flies by. And next summer it's the World Cup, so it'll fly by again. So it's that summer when there's no major tournament as well. It's sort of, June can be hard, but we whizzed by. We got through it together fantastically. What's the story about De Gea? Let's have a look. What's the story about De Gea? I thought Drawty sent me something there. Sean Webley's just said, can I talk about the changes to Sky Sports? All I've seen about Sky Sports is their new logo, and Drawty, who's a graphic designer by trade, says it's awful. But I'm just having a look about Fabinho. That'll happen in January, so we'll stay at Monaco for now. A lot of P. Fabinho is clearly not in Jose Mourinho's plans, and I don't think somebody just said Fabinho's not in Jose Mourinho's plans. He's already got Fosu Mensah. I think that's a really personally stupid comment, because if we have got Fosu Mensah, and I think Fosu Mensah is good enough, but Mourinho gave him less than 20 minutes in the Premier League last season up until the last game where he played people like Harrop, who he sold. So I'm not bought on the fact that, oh, we're not going to sign Fabinho, we're not going to sign Nainggolan because we've got Fosu Mensah. Even when you look at the squad that's been released, Fosu Mensah's in a right-back position. He's right after the goalkeepers with Valencia. I don't think he's got any intention of using Fosu Mensah as a centre defensive midfielder. So I would love it if this gets played back at the end of next season and people go, you got it wrong. Nobody'd love to get it wrong more than me, but I've not seen any indication that Mourinho's got any ambition of using Fosu Mensah as a centre defensive midfielder, let alone a first team centre defensive midfielder. And let's not forget, he was using Twansibi there over him. I don't think he's going to use him. I don't think he's going to use him. And I think that was one of his big mistakes last season, Mourinho. He absolutely wasted a season for Fosu Mensah, who the season before under Van Gaal was one of our best players in them last few games. We went away to Spurs and he was man of the match. Last season, hardly played him. So I think that's nonsense by people who start going, oh, we're going to use Fosu Mensah. I really think it's just, oh, let's all be positive. Well, I don't see that happening. We need to sign a centre defensive midfielder. If Fabinho goes to Atletico Madrid for 45 million euros, then Di Marzio's wrong, because he said we'd offered 50 million euros. So how can that be right? There's a funny quote here. Bakayoko, I waited for Manchester United to come calling, but I've been told I have to go to Chelsea and read a cue card saying I've joined a big club. Exactly. It's all about making out that we're in for a player that we're not, so Chelsea can try and give the L back, which ain't going to happen. I don't know anything about De Gea. I know people are on about it, but I don't know anything about De Gea. I don't think anything will happen there. As I said before, if we lost De Gea this late into the transfer window, it's a farce. Absolute farce. We could have just got rid of him at the start of the summer if he was going to go. Why hold on until this late stage? I tell you what, I mean, the summer could still go one of two ways. I mean, I'm very happy with Lukaku and Lindelof and Perisic if we get him. But what if we then let De Gea go and brought Joe Hart in and we got Matic? I mean, suddenly you've made two shocking signings there and the confidence levels drop. We've got to keep De Gea. We've got to keep De Gea. Alex says loan Fosu out to Bournemouth or a team like that. That's what we should have done last season, Alex. I think that's the worst thing that happened to Fosu Mensah is he spent a season training with the first team. What a waste. What a waste. He could have been out playing first team football. I mean, on one hand, what he did with Pereira was fantastic. And what he did with Fosu Mensah was almost unforgivable. I just don't understand. He could have had a whole season playing for someone like Bournemouth. If he's not going to be involved this year, get him out on loan, because he'd tear the Premier League apart. Absolutely tear it apart. Would love Dembele as well, and I would like to see Depay back, says Cameron. You started off so well with Dembele, and then you mentioned Depay. Don't want anywhere near. Shazwat says, have we made a late bid for Douglas Costa? I still think we're very in for Perisic. Justin Kluivert says, dust never gets booted. Justin Kluivert, I think, will come to, or Kluivert, will come to Manchester United. As we were talking about on the show last night, I didn't actually realise his agent is Mini Raiola. When you couple that with the chat that Mourinho had with him after the final, I think he will come to United next summer. But I think he does need another season development, really. I think Mourinho kept Fozo in case Valencia got injured, and I asked him, says Tyrone Williams. Yeah, another eye in the know. It is, you know what, we do have to trust in Mourinho. I say it all the time, we really do, but I'll be disappointed about Fabinho. I would be less disappointed if we just go and sign our centre defensive midfielder and then he went to Atletico. But the frustrating thing is, when we're still waiting for that signing, to see a player that we would like come in, go, it's always frustrates you, doesn't it? So I am slightly frustrated by it, but we're just going to have to go with it and hope that it gets sorted out sooner rather than later. But as I said about the centre defensive midfielder, it needs to happen now. This is not a position that we can wait for a month on, because the centre defensive midfielder is the most important signing we're going to make this summer, because he's fundamental to how we're going to play. It's not like the winger who's out on the wing. It's not even like Lukaku who's up front, who's important. But the centre defensive midfielder has got to implement themselves into the United team very quickly and start to understand what's going on, because he's taking the ball off the back four. He's playing with two midfielders in the middle, and then he's feeding the strikers and the attackers as well. It's a massively important position that you can't just drop somebody in late. I don't know. I'm very frustrated, but that's only because Fabinho, for me, is the obvious answer. And to miss out on him, I really wonder what we're going for. Mourinho has some weird ideas. He's a fantastic manager. He's the right manager for Manchester United, but sometimes he makes weird decisions. And what I have said for a long time is, how long can he keep it up 100% strike rate with transfers? Because no manager does that. No manager keeps signing a player and it works. At some point, we're going to have a flop. And I don't think Lukaku is going to flop, so that would make it 5. I don't think Lindelof's going to flop, so that's 6. Flip-flop, 6. Perisic, I think, will do well as well, so that's 7. So the centre defensive midfielder, I think, at the moment, is odds-on going to be the one that flops, especially if it's Matic or Dyer. But it's the most important position as well. I don't know. I don't want to be negative, but I'm getting a bit anxious because it's the one position I don't... It's a bit like when Sir Alex Ferguson, every summer we needed to sign a midfielder and he wouldn't do it. And I think that's what's going to happen with the CDM. It's either not going to happen, or it's going to happen really late. And it's the one signing most Manchester United fans are really anxious about, and we want it to happen. We've got to be patient, though. Diego Rodrigue says, hi Mark, I've been a sub since we were just 3,000 subscribers. That was a long time ago. Thanks to everyone in the channel for the great quality videos and those who get involved in the comments. Well, I would echo that, and thanks for the comment. Thanks for the contribution, Diego. We'll be playing 3-4-3 because we've got 6 centre-backs, says Vidbit. Mark, do you think Pogba-Lukaku chemistry will work well? I do. Pratchwell. I do, because I think we're basically getting Zlatan but with pace. And Pogba, there was a great article on this, so I'll expand on it. I was reading this earlier, actually, and it's obvious. In fact, I spoke about it last night, so maybe just somebody was watching the United Stand and they developed it into an article. I don't know. But, yeah, so I was saying last night how Zlatan and Rooney always came deep into the centre circle. Well, Pogba doesn't want that. Pogba wants to go from his position into the number 10 position. That's where he causes the most damage. So last season, when he did move there, he's looking behind him at Zlatan and Rooney who are coming into his position. Lukaku doesn't come deep. That's what she said. He wants to stay on the last man. He wants to make his little runs in and out behind. That will suit Pogba to the ground for 2 reasons. One, it allows Pogba to move into that space in the number 10 from the midfield, and also it allows him to play those brilliant long through balls into the channels over the top for Lukaku, who's got the pace. So we're going to see a more exciting United next season. We're not going to see teams coming to Old Trafford like Anderlecht and Bournemouth did, where their defensive line is virtually on the halfway line and they're pressing the hell out of it an hour and a half. They can't do that when you've got pace like Lukaku in the team, especially if we put Martial or Rashford on the flank. We'll be pushing teams back, which is good for us. And we've had a super chat from Bastian. Thanks for that, Bastian. And there's a lot of drama about what shirt Lukaku's going to wear, because he's got 10 on his username on Twitter, and then he's got I think he's done it on Instagram as well. I know a certain in the know from America will be hoping to God that Lukaku doesn't wear 10, having boasted about having an interview with him and saying that he was going to wear number 9. He'll be absolutely praying that he's number 9, which I think he might still be, because he's still got 9 on the end of his other one. So I think he's just playing a game with us. I think he'll be number 9. Renato Sanchez loan deal, says Shazwat. I wouldn't mind that, but it doesn't solve the problem of the centre back, the centre defensive midfielder. Alexis Sanchez, Mark, says Peanut King. I've heard his name mentioned a lot, but I just don't think Arsenal will let sell as another player. Not especially when they saw how well Van Persie did. They won't want to do that. Fabinho, Demarcio said Fabinho to Manchester United is very close to happening. He hasn't said it for a couple of weeks though, I don't think. Would you have Dele Alli at United, says Vinter Briss? It won't happen, but of course I would have him. He's a very good player. 10 comes from his Everton shirt, says Moinul Islam. Yeah, how long has he had that number 10 at the end as well? Because I don't follow Lukaku on Twitter. Rogue Punisher says, relax guys, Chelsea won't sell as Matic because of Lukaku, so we all know how difficult Levy is. So Fabinho, Nainggolan, Matuidi left, all good. Thanks for that contribution, and I hope it is a correct one. Congratulations Mark, great show, very rational. Regards from Cameron. Thanks for that, Cameron. And I do think it will be number 9, by the way. I don't gain anything either way. I do think he'll be wearing number 9, and I would prefer it to be number 9 because I'd be excited by the number 10 being free. Fortune's back again. Fabinho is quality, Matic is crap. And thoughts about Perisic, says Arctic. I think I've done it so many times, but in a couple of sentences. He's two-footed, which means he can play either side. He's a natural winger. He's quick, he's skillful, he's hard-working, and he's creative, and he can put a natural cross in. I think he'd be perfect for Lukaku, so I would welcome Perisic. I know a lot of people wouldn't. And Mr. Devil's Shadan 666 says Lukaku wears 9 for Belgium. I think he'll wear 9 for United, for what it matters. Please drop a like on the video. We're not quite at 1,000 tonight. Ewan Gordon says, how's Sebastian? Thanks for that. Oh, you've just reminded me. Big up to Kev Ashford. He's had a little boy himself today, Rory Ashford. So literally 3 weeks apart between Rory and Sebastian. And I was tweeting out today saying 20 years time, hopefully they'll be battling for the number 7 shirt for Manchester United. But hopefully they'll both be playing. Who knows? Imagine that. But congratulations to Kev and to Rory and his, I think it's his wife or his girlfriend. But well done. Sebastian's doing very well. 3 weeks old and not getting a lot of sleep, but he's a little cracker, and 3rd time round for me and the wife, so we're much more chilled out. But I don't know, my second one was a little star. My first one was very, very, very noisy and never liked being a baby. She was always impatient. But Sebastian at the moment's a bit middle of the road, but enjoying it. So thanks for that, and as I say, well done to Kev. You know what? People are saying, I always get his name wrong. Weigl and Dembele, 100 million business done. That's Bell 6891 from Dortmund. Yeah, I would like to get those two from there. But there could be a surprise. You know what? We didn't know. Lukaku was a surprise. Maybe it wasn't a stunning surprise because we knew he was going to move and we just thought he was going to Chelsea, so it was a surprise when he came to United. But this time last week we didn't know about Lukaku. We didn't know Rooney was going to go. Look what's happened in a week. A lot can happen in a week. So, yeah, I'm interested to see. what United are going to do. Was I there at Lukaku's signing? Yeah, I was there. I was on holiday with him. Yeah, I regularly get phoned up by Pogba and Lukaku, and I've known about it for a long time. Yeah, it was meant to be Skype Goldbridge RJS Gaming. It just went a little bit wrong, but I'll sort it out. Don't worry. Let me have a quick look because things can change. Oh, busy. Just having a quick look for you. Here's an interesting question. Who is the best Manchester United player in the Premier League era? It's from Sky Sports News HQ. It's a poll. They've got Rooney, Giggs, Ronaldo, Cantona. What a longevity, Giggs. Consistent ability, Rooney. Enigma, Cantona. Best player in the Premier League, Ronaldo. So I can't split that. That's ridiculous. I can't. Any one of those, Rooney, Giggs, Ronaldo or Cantona, let me cast my vote. So I'm going to vote Ronaldo just because he's the best player in the world. So yeah, they've had 45,000 votes. Rooney's got 23%. Giggs has got 27%. Ronaldo's got 33%. Cantona's got 17%. Cantona deserves better than that. But yeah, the thinking man's winner's probably Cantona because of the ignition he gave to United. I mean, I'd put Roy Keane in there, to be honest. No class of 92 in there. Well, Giggs. Yeah, Giggs. Yeah, I'd put Scholes ahead of Giggs, to be honest. It just shows you how spoilt we are. How spoilt we are and how great it's been for United. Right. Back to you lot. Let's see what everyone's got to say. Gungshi says, now that we've got Lukaku, we need someone who can deliver perfect Giggs-style crosses into the box for him. P.S. No Matic and no Dyer, please, for the love of God. Thanks for the contribution, Gungshi. I'd agree with you there. We've got to start putting decent balls into the box. Andrew Ellis says Van Nistelrooy for him. How do I vote, says Robin Ekman. It's on Twitter, mate. It's Sky Sports News HQ. It's a really good one. I'll tell you what. I'll put that up on here. I'll put that up on here as a vote. So for those people who aren't watching live, you can vote now. And for those people who are watching live, come back in about an hour and it'll be up as an eye in the top right-hand corner. I don't overrate Keane, Sam Ward. Never tell me that. And James is next, says Jamie. And Josh Hayes makes a good point. He says, AS also reported that James Rodriguez was a done deal to United back in May. I wouldn't worry yet. Why would Fabinho want to miss 6 months of football when the World Cup is next year? Well, I presume he'd stay at Monaco for 6 months. I don't know. Tyrone Williams again says, Ryan Giggs is the best footballer to ever kick a ball at United. Total legend. Okay, that'll do. That'll do for tonight. Thanks everybody for watching. Remember to drop a like on the video. If you haven't already, and subscribe. We're closing in on 111,000, which is fantastic. Keep getting involved. We will be back tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. With the Transfer Daily. However, what happened last week, every night at around 10:30, there was a big bit of news. So if that happens, we'll be back live again around 10:30. So only an hour away. So we'll wait and see. You never know. That has been happening a lot. Thanks everybody for watching, and maybe see you a little bit later, and if not, I'll be back at 7 a.m. I lost it a little bit there. I went into a bit of a daze. I was reading some of your comments. I might be live later, you and Gordon. If something happens that's worth developing, I will go live later, normally about 10:30. If not, we'll be back at 7 a.m. Thanks everyone for watching. Really enjoyed the show. Keep getting involved with the United Stand. Live 8:30 every night, as you know. Rodney will be with me tomorrow night, and Tyrone's off to bed because he's tired. I didn't miss a super chat, I did it. Speak to you all later. Top of the morning to you. Fantastic show. Live comments, absolutely superb as per usual. And I might be back in an hour. Let's see. I reckon I will be. Well, if that's true, what you just said, then we'll keep an eye on it. I've kept this on live again. I'm always doing this.